Claire, and I'm joined tonight by...
The one, the only, the incredible, the indelible Ash Barnes. I write the missing moments, and I help Eleanor write the comic. We're also joined tonight by...
Your damp, dusty, darling David.
Oh my god, it gets weirder every time. Sorry if I clear my throat a lot, there's gunk in it. I felt bad for clearing my throat so much at the movie last night. Hey Ash, why don't you tell them your thoughts on the movie we saw yesterday?
How about I don't, because I'm just going to be, enraged the whole time.
I think it'll be entertaining to people.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No.
I really hope this doesn't super slow down my computer like last time.
Oh, Riggy said, look at how alive they are. All the people in the... Yeah. Matt says, what did you guys watch? We went to see It last night. And it was terrible. Terrible. Just awful.
How do I, pause this stuff? I can't. Oh, I can pause Dropbox. Come on, let me pause it. Well, maybe that did it. I hope that helps. There's everybody. The whole bird family. Should I draw a lark in something other than a popped collar denim shirt?
I mean, it's pretty standard.
It's pretty signature now. Once she wore a purple one.
Oh boy.
She was really going out on a limb with that one. Really branching out. Like a bird, get it? Standing on a tree limb.
I see.
There.
Yeah.
Her.
Yes. So, despite the hideous delay, how's everybody doing tonight?
Put Lark in flannel. I mean, you can assume that this is flannel. I don't really know how to show it being flannel other than giving it lumberjack patterns.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that. Ash is like,
I mean, we can see
it'll
how it
make her
looks.
look more lesbian-y.
I mean, I'm always, down for that.
I know you're down for that. I'll just dress her like Elena circa 2009.
God. Huh.
That's basically what she is, except, she's not white, but her hair and everything. Also, she would have to have the chin. Here I'm drawing her again with the Elena chin. This is going to be my new... Look, Ash, my new icon.
My God.
It's me. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Yeah, save it for posterity. I hope nobody is being too badly affected by the hurricanes. I feel really bad that there's not more we can do to help.
Mm-hmm. We've gotten a couple pings for help on our thing, and I've done what we can.
Oh, good.
But there hasn't been a ton of, people reaching out, which hopefully means that, most everyone made it out.
Mm-hmm.
At least I hope so.
Some bloodsucker proxy wants to know a few specifics on what was so bad about it.
Oh, Sarah Dubs and Westy from the East both are in Florida.
Oh dear.
Oh, are y'all gonna be okay? While y'all wait to get... Oh, maybe the delay isn't so bad now. Sweet. Proxy wants to know, can you give us some specifics on what was so bad about it? Well, okay, so keep in mind that I'm coming from the perspective of someone who has read the book. And aside from some, really ultra problematic things that happen in the book, I did genuinely enjoy the book. I feel like they really do a disservice to several of the kids. Like, there's a black kid in the group who, it feels like they just kind of tacked him on in the movie for, the diversity card. And they included none of his original conflict with one of the antagonists that makes up a huge part of the book. It's like they decided...
They took out the racist element.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, all the racism and stuff that's presented as this enormous problem in the book is just completely removed from the movie. And it sucks. So, that,
Having never read the book, I thought that the movie was pretty okay, but then when Ash was, bitterly ranting in the car afterwards about all the things they did wrong and what they should have kept from the book, I was like, oh man, they cut that out? That's really a shame. It could have been so much better had they been more true to the book in some aspects.
Yeah.
There's some parts I'm really glad they skipped.
Yeah, Proxy's they didn't have that scene, did they? No, they did not.
I heard about that scene before the movie and I was like, they're not gonna... No.
They also, I don't know how I didn't realize this sooner, because I pretty closely tracked the making of the movie and all this stuff, but somehow I missed in the marketing that they aged up the kids. In the book, they're 11. In the movie, they're 13, and the gal who plays Beverly does not look 13.
She's 15 in real life, and she looks 15.
She looks 15 to 17. I mean, she does not look like... She doesn't look like, a very young child.
She looks like a high schooler.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crappy because it's pretty apparent that the reason they did that with her character specifically was to more easily sexualize her in the movie.
Yeah. I felt like that was pretty bad. Something that I think, when I was thinking about it bitterly more today, one of the things that bothered me the most...
Right after we got up this morning, as I was driving Ash to work, the first thing she said was, I'm still grouchy about that.
Yeah.
I know you were fuming about it since we left the theater.
When I thought about it in retrospect, one of the things that bothers me the most really is how they treated the black character. In the book, he's supposed to be the one that eventually draws them all back to the town. He's supposed to be the kid that's really in love with history and the idea of knowing what came before you and what connects people to a place. And they completely took that away from him in the movie. They gave it to Ben instead. And it was just... It just felt really bad.
Why would they do that?
Yeah, it's they thought, let's see, how many things can we strip away from the black character and give to other characters to make them more interesting? It's almost like they felt like they had to give Ben the fat kid like more compelling things, when in the book he's compelling enough on his own, and his actor is really good.
I liked all of the actors.
Yeah, let me say that about, the kids who portray all the main characters, their acting is pretty phenomenal. Like, I was very impressed with that. Elena said she really appreciated the camera work.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. There were several shots that I don't know that I can talk about it without spoiling in case anybody wants to see it, but I thought they were really well done. Like, it kind of puts you in, you see from an object's eye view, like sometimes as they interact with an object, the camera will move as they're moving something, or if a character is disoriented and starting to get their feet, the camera will start off like tilted and then kind of follow them upright. And I thought if they did that all the time, it would be really irritating and make people seasick, but they did it just enough to make it really effective.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked if the new actor was better than Tim Curry, and I never found the original miniseries to be scary at all, and I even saw it when I was a kid. Like, I felt like it was a lot more faithful to the book.
Without that scene.
Yeah. Without
faithful to the abridged version.
Yeah. Like, I felt like the original miniseries was better at sticking to the book, but the acting was really bad. In the new movie, I felt like the kids' acting was a lot better, even though they were aged up, and I also felt like the clown was significantly scarier. David made a good point last night when he was talking about it. He said that, what did you say, David?
It was, with Tim Curry's version, he was goofier, and that made him less scary at times. But the very first scene with Georgie, it gave me a bad impression, like, for the rest of the movie, because
Tim Curry's, you mean,
or no, in the new one, because the new I don't know that actor, but
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård.
So whatever his name is.
It didn't seem believable that even a little kid would trust that voice.
Mm-hmm.
It was less. Oh, come on, Buckle, come down here and have some fun. More like, this sword. Wash me away. I don't know how to talk.
Yeah.
But there was that part where he got him to laugh with him, and then the laughter like awkwardly died, and I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I thought I have been unfortunately subjected to more clowns than I would like, having been made in college to supervise a lot of birthday parties, and he genuinely reminded me of a lot of clowns I have interacted with.
In the new movie?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. The Tim Curry version, like, he wasn't scary, but again, I did think that, yeah, like, kids would be more likely to trust him. But as it is, in the book, Georgie is really the only kid that is lured to the clown. All the rest are genuinely terrified
by him.
Yeah, they're very unsettled, and even Georgie is kind of unsettled. Like,
is there a reason why he picks a clown shape? Is it really spoilery?
No, it's not really spoilery. It's just because it's something that, like, there's lots of different explanations, but essentially the biggest one is that, like, it has been terrorizing this town for centuries, and clowns have also been around for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy for the clown to fade in and out without drawing a lot of notice, and by the time, like, its, like, claws are sunk so deep into the town that it has it pretty much in its clutches, like, no one's going to notice anyway.
Mm-hmm. Wait, nobody's gonna notice that the clown is there?
Or, I think like, I think one of the reasons Stephen King picked a clown was that it's a figure that's very immediately obvious to someone looking at like an old photograph or something, but in the moment, especially at big events, no one's going to notice a clown.
It's also something that's associated with children.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, Artsy MK just said probably because a clown is associated with children's birthdays. Yeah. In general, now I kind of want to see it again to like.
I kind of wanted to see it again as we were watching it because I could tell that I was missing details because that was something else that I liked. Like whenever something scary was happening with it, when he was terrifying the children, there would be a lot of things going on in the background that were blurry because you were meant to be paying attention to the foreground, but I could tell that it was put in there for rewatch value. Like if you watched it again, you'd be like, oh my God, look at that woman in the background.
Yeah.
Like what she's doing. And
There's one scene, if y'all do go to see it, there is this one scene where Ben is in the library, and it's supposed to be like this scene where he's like looking around and everything else is kind of fading into the background because he's watching a balloon. But in the background of the shot that shows him, like they keep showing it, and the woman behind him is so creepy.
Is making this like really menacing, creepy grin, almost like she can't wait to see something horrible happen.
Or like she can't wait to sink her teeth into him or something.
Yeah, it was like a very predatory, creepy pose. But then like when it goes back to regular vision, she's like turned around doing something at the bookcase. So.
Yeah. Something else, like this is such a minor detail, but the librarian is kind of mean to Ben and kind of harasses him a little bit.
When did she?
When she's like, "Why aren't you outside?
Yeah. And she's
don't
like,
you have any friends?"
I have never ever had a librarian say something like that to me. Like librarians are always ecstatic when children are into the library.
The thing is, like, the thing that really upsets me is that in the book, the library is supposed to be this place of utter sanctuary for Ben, and he loves it. Not only is the library supposed to be beautiful, it's supposed to have. It's in two separate buildings. Like, they have the adult library, and then they have the children's library, and there's this glass corridor that connects them. And Ben, like, loves the glass corridor, and it's what inspires him to become an architect later. But even more than that, the librarian, Mrs. Starrett, is so nice to him. And when he comes back to Derry as an adult, one of the things that motivates him to want to, kill the monster, he sees a balloon. And on the balloon, there's this text, and it claims to have killed Mrs. Starrett, the librarian that he loved as a child. And she's just this nice old lady, So it makes me really mad that they, instead of giving,
letting her be a nice old lady.
I think that they were trying to convey that the town has been poisoned by it, which, fine. But there are supposed to be these lighthouses, these figures of hope, and the library is supposed to be a figure of hope, or a way station of compassion and hope and sanctuary and all this stuff.
Sanctuary!
So, yeah, there's just a lot of things that if you hadn't read the book, I could see how you might find it an extremely enjoyable movie, and now I do kind of want to see it again to dissect certain scenes and pay attention more to stuff that's happening in the background, but I've done talked myself into wanting to watch it again. Oh my God. But I was so mad, y'all. I was so mad. I really was. But a lot of critics seem to like it. All in all, I think they focused less than they should
on the kids,
on
it.
Yeah, they focused way too much on it being a movie of like, let's go from scare to scare, or horrible thing to horrible thing. And it's like, I think they got so focused on making it a horror movie that they kind of lost touch with what it's really supposed to be about. Like, it's supposed to be a story about the resilience and bravery of children who face horrible things. Like, it's not supposed to be a movie about horrible things. It's supposed to be a movie about really brave children who come together to try to save each other.
we go see it, we're going to have to sit through all those crappy ads for all the other horror movies coming out.
Yes.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, they also do a really huge disservice to Beverly in that this is a bit of a spoiler, so plug your ears if you don't want to find out something. But they, at one point, have her kidnapped by the monster. And I'm sorry, but what the hell? Like, Beverly is not supposed to be a damsel in distress. That bothered the shit out of me. Pixelated Spirits asked, any new funny stories Ash and Yamino?
I fell out of a hammock today. There's not really a long story to that. That's just all that happened. I scraped my leg. It was sad, but everybody thought it was funny.
I will tell you all the funny story of Rosie being fed the wrong food and the subsequent battle with the chair. So, as you all know, a couple weeks ago, or like 3-4 weeks ago, dang, has it really been that long? We went to New York to go to FlameCon. And while we were gone, David and Sarah very kindly watched all of our animals for us. And the night we returned, which also happened to be the night before the start of the new semester for my college, which, meant a lot of work for me coming up. The night we returned, someone fed Rosie the wrong food. Now, for those of you who don't know, Rosie is our golden retriever puppy, and Rosie has a very sensitive stomach, y'all. So, someone fed her the wrong food. We're not quite sure. Sarah claims that it was not her, but I didn't.
She didn't claim it wasn't her. She just said, oh, I just gave her the food that was in the bag next to her crate. But there were 2 bags next to her crate. One was the really nice, expensive new food that I had tried to put her on because it's supposed to be for like really active dogs and it's the same brand, and I thought it'll probably be okay. Mm-hmm. But she had like extreme diarrhea after I fed her one time from that, so I was like, okay, I guess no more of this one. But I think Sarah gave her more.
Yeah, well, whatever the case, Rosie was fed food that did not agree with her. So fast forward to the next morning, Elena and I are coming downstairs because Elena's going to take me to work. And we get to the landing of the stairs, and Elena turns and looks at me and goes, oh no. And I went, what? And then the stench hit me in the face. See, Rosie had befouled her crate as well as like the entire area around it.
There was a shotgun spray, y'all. Like it was on the wall, it was on the floor, it was caked all over the little like wire cage of her crate. It was all over her ass. It was all over her feet because she had tried to walk in circles to get away from it.
It was bad, okay? It was really, really bad. And so Elena and I, of course, immediately go to rescue our poor, beleaguered by shit dog. And I had Elena, I was like, okay, Elena, you take her outside and have her go undoubtedly shit some more, and I will start cleaning this up. So while Elena went out and walked Rosie, I carried the shit-smeared crate out onto the patio, cleaned up our little nook where we keep her dog crate, and then was starting to clean off the crate, and Elena came back. Now this is where it gets funny. So Elena came back with Rosie, and of course we really needed to clean off Rosie because she was covered in her own leavings.
Faces.
Yes, faces.
Racist faces.
She was covered in horrible nest. So what does Elena do but gently tie Rosie's leash to a plastic chair we have sitting out on the porch and starts to also very gently spray her off with the hose. Now, this is a chair that Rosie has seen literally every day of her life with us, y'all. It is a very known and familiar chair. But Elena had been spraying her down for about 25 seconds, just long enough to get her nice and sodden. When Rosie moved her head, just so, and the chair scuttered across the wooden floor of the patio and made a very scary sound. This terrified Rosie out of her mind. What does Rosie begin to do? Rosie begins to try to run away from the chair, and the chair, because it is now attached to her, follows her. Rosie ran in increasingly crazed and panicked circles around and around the patio, the chair like flailing along behind her like a missile, spraying poopy dog water everywhere. This was loud. This was horrible.
Didn't the chair also like whack into your legs
Yes.
and spray like shitty water on you?
Yeah, like it raked over my bare, vulnerable legs. It almost knocked me down twice before we could get Rosie calm again.
And when we did like finally grab her, she was breathing like I never heard her breathe like that. She was so scared of the chair.
But, so we are now, our entire patio is now covered in poopy dog water. The dog is still covered in poopy dog water. We are covered in poopy dog water. And, Elena is trying to disentangle Rosie from both the chair and the leash and stuff. She manages to do this. The bikes in the corner of the patio have all been knocked down because Tsunami Rosie has just wreaked havoc all over everything. And what does Rosie do? In her, utter relief at no longer being chased by the chair, she leans her body into me. And she is very wet and very covered in faces. And I am dressed for work, y'all. So that was terrible. We finished cleaning her up. We gently toweled her off, cleaned the crate, treated her very gently for the rest of the day. Poor Rosie. Oh. I neglected to mention that this was all at 7 a.m.
Yeah, because we got up extra early that day.
We got up really early that day so Elena, could take me to work so I could be there early to prepare for the onslaught of new students. And what happens instead? I get, sprayed with poopy dog water and have a huge adrenaline spike first thing in the morning.
I never knew what dog water was until now. From Undertale.
Oh, God. Dog water.
Dog salad.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Dog salad. Oh, it's lagging really badly.
Mm-hmm. Oh. But it was not at all funny while it was happening, but it was funny.
The part where she was being chased by the chair was kind of funny, but it was equal parts funny and equal parts disgusting and upsetting.
Yeah.
It became funnier as time passed. What was really funny was the time we put a piece of tape on Winkle's head and she made that weird face and she tried to back away from the tape, so she was going
So, BGB says, question for the authors. When you revise the dialogue in Book 1, all references to God, without it being the acronym for Sabine's place, were removed. However, in Book 2, Chapter 1, a non-acronym God is mentioned by both Oscar when she wakes up Jackson on page 4, and Rosie on page 21 when she is talking about Claire's baby. And in Chapter 2, page 31, Jackson still refers to the Lord when she's quoting one of the big tomes full of stories, like with the carpenter guy with the fish trick. Was the discrepancy between the revised Book 1 and the early Book 2 pages intentional? Probably not intentional, but we only revised Book 1 at the time. When we go back and ready Book 2 for printing, we'll probably take out a couple of those things. The whole carpenter guy with the fish trick thing, like, we'll leave that in there. That's meant to be, like, kind of a little joke. And I don't really mind if the characters say, oh God, in terms of, like, shock, surprise, dismay. But I don't want them to refer to it as, or refer to God as something they worship anymore. Then again, I'll think about it.
There's a new god in town, and her name is Clementine.
I'll think about it. Mostly what we wanted to do is not have the Abbey be built around that idea. At least not Sisters of Mercy. I don't really have a big problem with religion being, a motivator in Sister Claire. I ought not to be, considering it's a story, about nuns. I just don't really ever want it to be a super big focus. So, and I think Elena agrees there.
Yeah.
Matt says, will we learn about the pantheon of the Sister Claire world anytime soon? Probably not, no. We might have characters occasionally refer to God, like we just said, but I am not going to get into world-building stuff about deities. Things we might include are, like, people wearing religious garments and stuff, engaging in various religious practices that are pretty analogous to practices that are in our world. But in terms of how those deities or beliefs fully transfer over to the Sister Claire world, I'm going to do my best. I actually just talked about this, I've talked about it with Elena before, and I just talked about this with Laura a couple days ago. I'm going to do my best, and I know Laura and Elena are going to help with this, to leave a lot of that interpretation up to readers, especially when it's religions that aren't mine, belief systems that aren't mine. Anyone who can be construed to be Muslim in Sister Claire, I don't have a bit of problem including characters that wear the hijab or other various religious garments. I've had the thought before of including people who are, visibly Jewish with outfits and things. But as to how that religion plays out in the Sister Claire world, I think it would be a lot better to see, to just make it obvious that those characters are there. Do enough research to make sure I'm not having them do something that is sacrilegious, and then let the readers who share that faith, fit it into the Sister Claire world as they see fit. I feel like that's a lot safer, and my job here is to make it so the world, so it's obvious to readers that, hey, there is space for you in the world. But I don't want to lay down all the hard and fast rules because I don't feel like I'm the one that should do that. At least not for that purpose. I'm also not going to make up a bunch of, fake deities and stuff. Not for this story. That's not really my jam.
It's not really mine either. I'm more interested in the characters themselves. And we have enough of those.
Yeah.
We don't need to start getting into extra pantheon characters. Mm-hmm. But if you want to write about them, go ahead.
Laura said, in terms of, Laura has largely been the the force behind the drifters, the seafaring people. And she said they have a bit more religious stuff going on. They're polytheists. And yeah, like, I think stuff like that is really cool, but like, I don't think we're ever going to get into like a huge arc where we talk specifically about like a ton about their various belief systems and stuff, so much as we might in passing mention gods and stuff. Like,
don't ever expect like a wiki page of the pantheon of Claire characters.
yeah, like, I think if you're looking for a webcomic that's going to have established deities and things, you should check out Daughter of the Lilies, because I think that comic is shaping up to have something like that. I think, doesn't Stand Still, Stay Silent have stuff like that too?
I haven't read enough of that to know.
I haven't read it in a really long time. I know there's a lot of spiritual stuff in there. Roke Reptile says, did Sister Abraham burn down Eden? You'll have to wait and see. It's indicated, though, in one of the more recent missing moments, that Abraham was there trying to get people out of Eden. And that might seem a little bit, counterproductive if she was trying to burn the place to the ground. So, Riggy says, hey Ash and Elena, did you want to see the Sister Claire commission I did and had asked about permission for? I would love to. Sorry.
Please.
Sorry, Elena, didn't mean to talk over
No,
you.
you're fine. We were both saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Proxy says, oh, Ash and Elena, did you see my Shard Clementine picture? I don't think I did, but I would like to.
Yeah.
Speaking of legends and stuff, now I've got people talking about Stand Still, Stay Silent. There will be mention of, like, witch lore and legends and stuff like that in Sister Claire. Not just tied to Clementine, but some of that's coming up, actually. Keep an eye on the missing moments within the next month. You'll find out a bit about stuff like that. But legends, local beliefs, things like that, people who are spiritual, people who are religious, like, you're going to see a lot of stuff like that in Sister Claire. But I just don't want anyone to expect, hi, this is a comic where we break down how, modern religions might have evolved after the fall of the world, or stuff like that. I don't really want to get into that. If you want to ping me for stuff like that, you could always ask during live rights. But again, if it's not my belief system and I don't really have one, you might just be out of luck on that one. Although you could always ask Laura to write about drifters. It's really cool when she does. Oh, where is it? Oh, that's really cute.
Aww.
Aww.
I love it.
Great job, Riggy.
They commissioned that.
Wait.
Or were they commissioned to draw? I think they said they commissioned it.
Wait. Have I misinterpreted? Probably.
Yeah, remember they had asked if somebody could draw our
They said the
characters?
commission I did.
Oh, okay. I get it. It is very good. Oh, he's a little cross-eyed. Drawing eyes like this is always really hard.
Oh, Sephi asked a question that I missed. Let me see. Let me scroll up there.
He's looking to the side. think this is okay.
Sephi said, the place Sabine's from that fell. Where might that be? Is there anything left?
What an interesting question.
Oh. You'll see. What a good question, Sephi.
Does he look cross-eyed?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. I don't want to work on that anymore. I'm hungry.
Oh. Maybe we can get milkshakes after this.
Where?
Cookout or something.
I'd rather go to Caribou if they're open.
Okay.
I don't think they will be. I don't think I'll be done by 11. I think I can finish this in an hour.
We'll see. Sephi said, the thing about avoiding religion that was bugging me a bit is that ethno-religious groups are a thing. Yeah, exactly. And I do want to show that groups like that exist within the Sister Claireverse. I don't think I'm going to devote a ton of time dissecting all of what that means. I don't really want to put my foot firmly in my very white mouth. ArtsyMK, you said you started your webcomic a few weeks ago?
Oh, congrats.
I would really like to see it. Have I seen it already? What's it called? Post it in the chat. Sephi says, we've all been wondering about that crater near Eden in the live right. Could it be that it's the work of a Quake mage? I suppose you'll just have to wait and find out. Matt says, speaking of predictions, will we be seeing another birth during this missing moment? Perhaps Gabrielle, now that they're in Tronum Mater?
She's not really the focus of this missing moment.
No, she's not. Something that has really helped, having Laura aboard has helped in so many ways, but one of those, today she and I were going over the missing moments for next week so we could get them to Elena so she could work on them soon. And Laura's a really good help in thinking of pictures that more fit the mood of what I'm trying to write, rather than having, this missing moment is largely supposed to be hopeful. We don't want any hideousness in this. And she made a suggestion, whenever I write the missing moments, what I tend to do quite a bit of the time is I'll write them and then put where within the text, I'll put what I think the picture should be. And the picture is, open for discussion. If Elena either, doesn't agree with it or doesn't want to draw it because it's too complicated, or I've only given her 5 hours to design a whole new character or something. With Laura on board, that doesn't usually happen now. We're usually a little bit more on the ball than that. But today, Laura was looking at a suggestion I had for a picture for next week, and she was like, what if we do this other one instead? And it's so much better and brighter, I should say. And I don't think, it added a ton of work for Elena or anything. So I think, and it's going to make just the whole mood of the missing moment continue as I wanted. And I feel really fortunate to have Laura there to make that suggestion, and I feel fortunate that Elena is there to, like, give these pictures such beautifulness.
Does it have something to do with Gabby?
No, it has nothing to do with Gabby. But you said that, Gabby's not really the focus of this missing moment. What happens to Gabby to turn her into Gabrielle is really awful. Like, it's a really, really awful thing. I'm not going to tack it onto a missing moment that's about, the happy arrival of the twins at last. But you're right on the timeline. You are within minutes. Aw. Look at this sketch of Owl and Dove. Someone's
Aww,
OC.
I love her.
That's really cute. Good job, Flame Writer.
Mm.
Also, good job, Proxy. Proxy's going to be graduating in 3 weeks, and his birthday is at the end of the month.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Happy early birthday.
Yes. Karen says, "Hey Ash, I did 2 continuations of my original character Seda, the Armenian illusion witch. I'm really eager to read those. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance yet. I have a lot of reading to catch up on. I'm just waiting for an opportunity." But I loved the first thing that I read about Seda, so I'm excited to... Is that how you say? Is it Seda or Seda?
I don't know, I'm not Armenian.
No, I'm asking Karen.
Oh, you were pointing your face at me, so I thought you were asking me.
Well, I was looking at your screen, at the adorable picture.
Ah.
Seda. Okay, so I was close. Proxy said, "You still got to read Ashes of Eden." Yeah, I do. Like I said, I got a ton to catch up on. Why is my nose itching so badly?
Need to do a rinse.
No, it's like the outside, like right here.
Bugs crawling up your nose.
Matt says, "Did you get the master link to all of our fanfics, Ash? I think I gave it to Laura." Yes, I did. Sephi, I also saw your fics in the tag. I'm really excited to read yours too. I caught a glimpse of one of the lines and my nostrils flared and I was very interested, but then I had to do work. I promise. I think I mentioned this at the meetup at FlameCon, but I try to give myself enough time to read a thing that I can record some of the things that I really like So I don't want to just read a thing and be like, yes, it was good, because that's something that, people spent a lot of time on, and I want to at least give them a couple things about it that I really enjoyed, because as a writer, I know there is nothing that you want more than to be told, like, what things were excellent, what things people noticed and appreciated.
As an artist, I just want reblogs. Just reblog. Comments are appreciated, but mostly I just want you to spread my work like a virus across the internet.
Look at this picture of Gabby.
Oh, cool. What's going on with Gabby? Why is she sad?
Well, Gabby's always sad.
No, she's not always sad.
A lot of the time.
She's always blue, but she's not always sad.
I'm blue, da ba dee da da.
Egg is so cute. I am dying.
I'm really glad you like him because I don't feel very confident drawing children.
He is so cute. Uh-huh.
I worry that all my children look like mutants.
They don't look like mutants.
They used to. Remember those early Claire drawings?
Well, you could go back and fix those.
Yeah.
One of my favorite baby Claire drawings is when it's in that missing moment where Marguerite is looking at her, and she's like, not the first missing moment where you drew her.
No, I was thinking of a missing moment that you love so much, where Marguerite's looking down at Catherine with like utter disgust. Like Catherine is like sweating and dying, and Marguerite's like, I hate you so much. Flames on the sides of my face.
The look is not even so much of disgust as just like, disdain.
I hated her so much. Flames on the sides of my face.
I didn't like the majority of that movie, but I liked that part.
Didn't know it was that free.
The majority of that movie was ad-libbed. In fact, I think almost all of it was ad-libbed. And it was all filmed in one night.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So all things considered, I think they did a pretty good job. Do people even know what we're talking about?
Maybe.
Can you look at the chat for me? Oh yeah, they're talking about Clue.
Yeah. Roke Reptile says, Yamino and Ash, thoughts on OKKO?
Haven't seen it yet.
It doesn't super interest me, just, the few glimpses I've gotten of it. But I said the same thing about Steven Universe.
Yeah.
So
I'll give it a chance.
I will also give it a chance.
People whose opinions I trust have said they really liked it, so I will give it a shot. It's not an art style that super appeals to me. And for me, being a visual snob, like, that's hard for me to get over when I don't like the art for something, but it's just personal taste. I also really didn't like the Utena art style when I first started watching it.
I still dislike it immensely. That
one grew on me.
I don't like Utena anyway. Like, I have tried to watch it so many times, and I can't really get into it. I do appreciate what, like, it means to so many people, though. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just actively shit all over it. just because I didn't like it doesn't mean I don't think everyone else, shouldn't enjoy
It's better in Italian,
it.
as everything is.
Sposa della Rosa.
Sposa della Rosa.
And I know all the music
And
from the show.
Jury is called Yuri, which is really appropriate.
Yuri.
Yuri! I'm so hungry. I could choke.
Don't do it. Do not.
I'm so hungry though.
Don't do it. Someone could use that against you in the future, Ella.
I know. I'm not gonna sing it. I just wanted to scare you.
Aw. Sephi saw these little paper dolls at FlameCon. Look,
Oh wow,
I love them.
that's amazing.
Super cute. Matt says, Ash, Elena, I have something that I made that I want to show you. I don't know if you'd call it fan art, but I hope you like it. Let's see.
I love this.
Where's the raccoon? Oh. This is great. Oh no.
Oh my god. I love this.
I love this so much, Matt. Oh my god.
That's perfect. That's one of my favorite scenes too from the
Oh
movie.
my god, that is hilarious. I'm like crying.
I love all the commenters' heads on it.
I want to watch it again later when I can fully appreciate who each little character was, but making Laura the raccoon is like I'm like crying. Oh.
You made Ash do the laugh.
I'm okay. And the part at the very end with Random Redneck.
Yeah, that's perfect. Have you posted this in the comments of the site?
Oh my god, that's so amazing. I love it.
You're gonna get the hiccups.
Oh.
That's amazing. I wish that we had watched it on my screen so that, well, I'll just, maybe when I one day post the YouTube version of this video in 84 years, when I post all the other YouTube videos,
Oh my
I can
god.
put a link in the comments.
Oh my god, that is like the best thing ever.
I love it.
Oh, Random Redneck at the end. It's just a webcomic. Oh.
That was the good shit, Matt. More like this.
Oh.
How long did that take you to do? Looks like it took forever.
Oh.
I don't know much about video editing.
Yeah, how long did that take? Ages upon ages? That's amazing. Oh, he says it took like 10 hours.
Wow.
Wow, thank you so much.
That's longer than the average Sister Claire page.
Oh.
I have an idea. What if,
Hmm.
after I finish inking this, we take a break to run to Caribou and get like a coffee and a snack and then come back? Would that be acceptable? I'm not really in the mood for going to cookout.
I don't really like cookout either, but
Do you like Caribou?
I guess. Do you want to go and I'll stay here? I just don't really want to pack everything up.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you and David want to go, you can.
Can't you lock the door here?
Not such that everyone else can't get in.
David, stay here.
Alright, yeah. What do they have? Do they have shakes at Caribou?
No, Caribou is a coffee place. It's a lot like Starbucks, but better.
Oh, I'm still crying. Matt, that was the best thing in the world. Like, I cannot tell you how much I needed that today.
I love when people can get Ash to laugh like that. That like screamy laugh. I love you.
David, if you do want ice cream, there's a Cold Stone on Franklin.
Oh, good.
Yeah. If you want to walk there now, I will put in an order with you because I'd rather have that than Caribou. But I'll take you to Caribou, Elena.
I don't know if he's going to be back in time for me to be done inking this.
Maybe we could
How long is Cold Stone open?
till 11 also. Well,
It's only 10:13.
yeah.
What if we wait for me to finish this?
Uh-huh.
The inking, I mean. We drop off David at Coldstone, and then we drive to Caribou, and then we all congregate back here for me to color it.
What would you think about that, David?
Yeah.
Okay. Then hurry, Elena, hurry.
I'm hurt.
Wait. You're gonna pick me back up?
We can.
Okay.
Yeah, we can swing back by.
You're on your own, kid.
That reminds me of the Time Bandits movie, like when the kids' parents blow themselves up with
What?
sorry, spoiler alert, but it's an old movie. Anyway, at the end, the kids' parents blow themselves up by touching the evil rock, even though he told them, "Don't touch it, it's evil."
They're only open 15 more minutes, Elena. I don't even think we'd get there in time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, we can go to Coldstone.
Okay.
You liked it the last time we went.
I wanted a hot drink more than ice cream.
I mean, I think they have hot drinks too.
Okay.
And if they don't, maybe Starbucks will still be open.
Okay.
But anyway,
Sorry, Dick.
sorry, the boy is standing, in the crater that was his house, and this fire truck rolls up, and Sean Connery rolls down the window, looks at the kid and winks, and drives off.
Oh, God.
Good luck, kid, you're an orphan now.
How did the kids survive the explosion?
I think like he wasn't standing right there. He was, I don't know, at least some meters away. But it's a weird move.
Sephi asks, is Egg wearing prayer beads?
He's wearing, yeah, they are prayer beads. It's what he wore when we first meet him, too. It's not the same one. This is like a kid-sized one. I imagine that they were a gift from someone.
I mean, could be from Hawk. He's so cute. I love him.
Yeah.
Ooh. Artsy MK said, also, they have so many types of tea in Korea that are unique. If I put together a Korea package for you two, would that be something you're interested in?
Oh my God, please.
I see Elena's eyes light with joy.
My eyes bulge out of their sockets. Tea! I'm a big tea drinker. Ash, not so much. But I will enjoy it. And I'm sure Sarah will pilfer some of it because she also likes tea. We went to a tea house today. It was really nice. We'd never been there before. It's called the Honeysuckle Tea House. And they grow their own ingredients for their herbal blends, which they sell there. And they also have imported like really fancy oolongs and sencha teas and stuff. And it was really pleasant to watercolor a bit out there and walk in the garden where there were a lot of swallowtail butterflies and hummingbirds. What you watching, Ish?
I don't know. It's on my Facebook. I'm just staring at it.
You looking at magic tricks or something?
I guess so.
I want everybody to praise me because I made my own shirt today.
Good job, Elena.
For the first time after many years of wanting to learn how to sew but being really scared of sewing machines. I tried using Sarah's sewing machine, but it's a piece of garbage. She says so herself. But it was kind of a cheap gift for, children, and it's not very good. But she borrowed her aunt's, she has a rich aunt who gets, really nice things, and she had this sewing machine that she hasn't been using for years, and she let us borrow it, and it's like a dream. It doesn't, get all clogged up with string every 2 seconds. It actually works how it's supposed to. And I always knew that if I could get around the fear of the machine and actually learn how to use it, the actual putting together patterns and stuff is not a challenge for me, because I have a really good mind for 3D things and dissecting 3D stuff into flat things, because I do it all the time for drawing comics. I know it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of, I think it uses the same part of your brain. But it was really exciting because I'd wanted to make a shirt a lot like this one I got from a thrift store. It's like this 80s shirt that has really wide. A problem I have a lot with t-shirts is that they cut me at the armpit because I have wide shoulders. And so these kind of shirts are really nice because they let your pits breathe and they don't, make you feel like you're busting out of your shirt. And they look fashionable. So it came out really nice. I made a pattern based on that shirt, and it pretty much looked just how I expected it to. Of course, I did get a little too excited at first and I sewed the armholes closed. I actually sewed everything closed because I wasn't paying attention enough. And then I had to go back and open the seams again. But after that little mishap, it turned out great. I'm going to try to make one for Ash.
I am excited.
I left Hana for last because I've already drawn her like 2,000 times recently, so she should be the easiest, theoretically. I think Hana's the easiest for me to draw. Lark is the second easiest, then Pidge, and then Hawk, just because I haven't drawn Hawk much. She's got hair like Claire did.
Mm-hmm.
With bangs. There was a girl who was working at a cafe who had bangs like up to here today.
Wow.
Like they were so high up on her forehead. I wondered if they were a mistake or just a fashion statement. Well, you can't really see her eyebrows, and I'm not going to do that anime thing where you see them through her hair. Sorry it's quiet, guys. I can't read the chat right now because it's slowing down my computer. And Ash is going to be right back. She went to the bathroom real quick. We will answer your questions momentarily. What's that?
It's one of the Kirby games.
I don't know how my whistling sounds on this recording, but it probably sounds really annoying, so I'll stop. I'm so hungry. We probably should head out. I hope Ash comes back soon.
Oh.
Can you check what time the Starbucks on Franklin closes? The prodigal daughter returns. Are you still up for going to get stuff?
Yeah.
They're closed.
They're closed at
Yes,
Starbucks. Oh.
It's over here. How much longer do you think it'll take you?
Not long at all.
Okay.
But I could just go ahead and stop now so to make sure we have time.
No, there's time. It's not a long walk. Sorry to run away.
I haven't checked the chat, so can you take a look and see if
Sure.
there's any questions?
Sorry, y'all, if you asked something over the past couple minutes and we didn't acknowledge you. I was away from the computer, but I'm back now. I think we're also going to leave in a minute to get ice cream.
Yeah.
Ah, Matt says, I have a question for you two. Okay, shoot. In your personal opinion, do you think Eden was worth it? Well, I mean,
Is any attempt to make the world better worth it?
yeah, I think so. I think it was worth it. I also think that, like, there were a series of events leading up to the fall of Eden, which you will soon see, you know, that were preventable, or at the very least, you know, had they not happened, Eden would have become a thriving city, like a true beacon for so many people. Oh, I didn't realize that Egg is holding Hana's hand too.
He's not. He's holding.
Oh, is it Hawk?
It's Hawk's hand. When it's colored, it'll be a lot easier to
Okay.
tell. No, Hana's hand is here on Pidge's arm.
Oh, I see. I totally see. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Oh, but it's so cute that
He's holding his parents' fingers. Okay.
I mean, technically they're all his parents, but biologically speaking.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm done.
Look how enormous Pidge is compared to the rest of them.
I know.
I love Pidge.
I like him too.
Hana's so tiny.
Yeah, she is. Do you like how Priya came out?
Yeah. Hawk. I love Hawk.
Her personality makes me think of Rainbow Dash. So, like, when I draw her, I try to give her Rainbow Dash expressions like, Rainbow! Okay, shall we pause and go get ice cream and then we'll come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's one more question before you go. Roke Reptile says, Elena, what is your approach when drawing something you don't like or don't draw as often? For example, vehicles and buildings.
Look at tons of reference. Sometimes download a Google SketchUp model of it and trace it, which I don't think is really cheating because, you know, you use the tools that are at your disposal.
Uh-huh.
And with things like horses or something, again, just looking at lots of reference. And also, unless it's like super important that it be hyper detailed, which it rarely ever is, just try not to sweat the details. Like, I don't really care how many joints are in a horse leg. I just kind of draw what looks okay.
Yeah.
I've had one person who's apparently like a deer scientist write to me about my servitor art and be like, I really like your deer maids, but that's not actually how deer legs look. And I'm like, I don't care. They look like lumpy sticks, and that's how they're going to stay because I drew this to relax and not to, you know, give myself a biology course on deer feet.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta draw it as it comes out and not sweat it too much. A lesson I've been trying to teach myself because I'm super anal.
Yeah, you are. She really is.
I really am.
But let's go get ice cream,
Yeah.
and then we'll be back, y'all.
Yeah.
So take a break, go to the bathroom, get some snacks, and we'll see you again in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 to 30 minutes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.